Welcome to Get Your Life. Today we have another parole hearing for the famous bodybuilder Craigtitus. I previously posted his parole hearing he had last year. If you haven't already, go check it out. Let's take a listen.
Good day, sir. State your name and your NDOC number for the record, please.
Craigtitus, 1024059.
Thank you, sir. My name is Commissioner Christensen. To the right of me is Commissioner Bailey, and we're both here on what appears to be a discretionary parole hearing in regards to case number 220719, pursuant to your conviction of kidnapping, in which you received a sentence of 60 to 180 months custody with a current parole eligibility date of what appears to be, looks like it's passed at this point. Looks like it was on January 1st of 2024. Caseworker Stemmerjohn, is that sentencing structure correct? And is there any holds or detainers?
Yes, sir, that does appear correct, and I don't see any holds or detainers active at this time.
Thank you. Sir, on the screen, you're going to notice a document. You notice of hearing and advisement of rights. Did you sign that document?
Yes, sir.
All right, with that signature, we can move forward with this hearing as you have been formally notified of your rights. Furthermore, it is the objective of this board to provide for the safety of the victim's family, and the general public, and all will be considered before any parole or post-judgment release decision is made. And if release is granted, the same will be considered in ordering release conditions. You understand that, sir?
Yes, sir.
Also, I do note that you have counsel here today. And for the record, counsel, could you just state your name and your bar number, please?
Thank you, Commissioners. Christina Wildeveld, 5825. I just want to confirm that you did receive his very detailed packet. Thank you.
You have that all? Thank you.
And Mr. Titus is prepared to give an opening statement, and I will speak after the.
Do you want to talk after the risk assessment?
Yes, thank you so much.
Okay. All right, sir, with all that said, would you like to make an opening statement for this panel's consideration?
Yes, sir, I would.
Go ahead.
Okay. I want to start by apologizing to Melissa James' loved ones for the role I played in causing them unbearable heartache that will never go away. I also want to apologize to everyone else who's been affected by my actions and because of my destructive and selfish behavior. My behavior made the community feel less safe, and I'm ashamed of that. Melissa James has been affected most. There are no excuses. I regret denying her the right to live safely and securely, and I know that my apologies will never change or minimize the role I played in that. I've done many years of soul searching, self-judging, and with a constant desire to get back to the same moral compass I once possessed prior to my retirement as a pro bodybuilder and before becoming a junkie addicted to narcotics. Kelly and I caused the death of Melissa James. Following her death, I tried to revive her and I failed. Out of fear and panic, we attempted to conceal it. Friends helped us by using a rope to hold her body together to fit in a fetal position. We put tape on her face to minimize the transfer of DNA and her vomit to the car. This drug-induced convoluted plan we came up with was to dispose of her body to get away with the responsibility of causing her death. It was foolish to think we could. And to this day, the mere thought of that day makes me sick to my stomach. Although I never intended the result in my case, I accept full responsibility for my actions and for all the poor decisions I made, culminating in the circumstances that escalated out of control and ended with Mrs. James' death. Within the 10 months I was addicted to narcotics, I made a series of poor choices and bad decisions, ultimately ending with this one. Since I've been incarcerated, I have made only positive choices. As my parole packet before you reflects, I have worked hard to try to do as much as I can to show the actions leading up to December 14th, 2005 do not in any way equate with who I am. I know that nobody deserves parole and that parole is an act of grace, but I come before this board of parole commissioners as a 59-year-old man who's now been in prison for 18 years on a sentence of 21 to 55 years. I can assure you with absolute certainty during my time here, I have regained my moral compass and that I am a God-fearing man. I will never again poison my body with narcotics or associate myself with those who do so. To this day, I cannot fully express or put into words how truly sorry I am for what I have done, or how sorry I am for the pain and heartache I've caused Miss James' family and all those who are involved. I'm truly ashamed and have to live with that for the rest of my life. I humbly ask that I'm granted parole at this time into my final sentence. I look forward to one day becoming a productive member of society and proving not only to you, but to myself, to my family, and anyone else who might care that I am truly a changed person. Thank you for your time.
Thanks, I appreciate that. And obviously, this was a heinous act, and I don't necessarily want to belabor it again, as you were in front of the board just a couple years ago. And obviously, it appears that you've taken responsibility, and you've even mentioned how and when and what you did. You know, and you're also aware that should you be granted parole on this case, you would be going on to the next case, which is 72 to 180 months custody. And you're aware of that as well, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You know, in order for us to even consider you for parole, a parole risk assessment has to be completed and was in fact completed. And I'd like to review that with you, and we'll go from there, okay?
Yes, sir.
I think last time there were maybe some issues with this parole risk assessment, so it's important that we get it right here. All right. First arrest occurred when you're 29 years old. You don't have any prior parole or probation revocations in your past. When this offense occurred, you were working full time. Furthermore, it doesn't look like you don't have any history of property-related offenses. And obviously, you acknowledge your drug use and maybe was a contributing factor in this event. Furthermore, it does look like you have one prior felony. You're a male. You're 59 years old now. There's no evidence of any kind of gang affiliations, nothing like that. You haven't done any, well, actually, you have done some programming in the institution. I do see a moral recognition therapy phase 1 and 2. And it does look like, I'm not sure if we gave you credit for that, but we should. And furthermore, it does appear that you don't have any disciplinaries in the last year at least. And you're considered a medium risk in that facility. Total score is a 0, which puts you at low risk to reoffend. Now, if we gave you points for the programming, which wasn't enlisted on my sheet here, it would be like a -1, and you'd still be a low risk. So it's kind of the point is kind of moot at this point. You are considered a low risk to reoffend in that regard. The caseworker Stammerjohn, is that the parole risk assessment correct as outlined?
MRT, I believe, requires all 4 phases to be deducted, but you are correct otherwise, sir.
Okay. All right. With that said, you know, in order for generally what happens when we sit down and we consider what's happened in this case and we deliberate, we think in terms of aggravating factors, mitigating factors, things in your favor, things not in your favor. Obviously, something that's not in your favor is a significant impact to the victim. I mean, this victim has family, and which has created other victims, and I'm sure during certain times of year, birthdays, Christmas, people probably shed some tears regarding the death of this victim, and we always think about the impact to the victim. Also, we do think about you know, you've been to prison before, hasn't deterred you. You went one time before, and you know there is some extreme and abnormal aspects of this crime. Meaning, you know, this victim was taped up and stuffed in the back of a Jaguar, and the car was set on fire. So those are the abnormal aspects of this, and we do consider that. So those are all the bad things, but there are some good things. You got a lot of good things going for you as well. One is that you have participated in some programs, as I previously mentioned. You do have stable release plans. You might have some employment and residence. Also, you've been infraction-free for over 2 years, so you're not a problem in the institution. To your credit, you may have stable release plans, like I said. You also have support in the community, which means that your family's out there. Obviously, this packet that your attorney provided is full of individuals that care about you and want to see you succeed and are there to help you should you need that help. And it's always a good indicator on how well someone will do on parole if they have good family support. And last but not least, we do have a consecutive sentence that she could probably go to, or you would have to go to. for the, I guess, arson. And that's a 72 to 180 months. So we wouldn't be seeing you for this particular case for another 5-6 years for this parole for that particular, I guess, count. So those are the things that we all consider. So with that said, Counselor, do you want to speak on your client's behalf?
Thank you, Commissioners. Christina Wildeveld on behalf of Mr. Titus. I believe Mr. Titus did a very good job in speaking for himself already. As you saw, he was full of emotion. And I think he did a very good job of addressing the facts of the crime, which I don't need to rehash either. There is on page 10 of his packet a list of the programs that he has already taken and a list of the programs that he qualifies with in the last 24 months close to his PED, those classes that he can take, although he did start at the MRT on January 3rd of 2024. He hasn't completed those yet. He has already started he's started real estate school, appraiser school in the Career Institute, and he has been active in doing things on his own and trying to get as much training as he can to prepare himself for the outside world. In his packet, he does have letters from friends who have been his friends for over 50 years. He has a lot of family and friend support who have written letters in. He has friends that he's made since being incarcerated, pen pals from around the world who have taken a liking to Mr. Titus, who are outstanding members in their own community, who have seen something in Mr. Titus and who are standing up for him and writing letters on his behalf. He does have significant community support. He is engaged. He has a fiance who he has known prior to being incarcerated. He has known for over 24 years, 25 years, who has not one home, but 2 homes, multiple cars, a place for Mr. Titus to live, and parole to. He has a job waiting for him. He has financial security. He is ready to be paroled when he is eligible. We are asking that he be paroled to his consecutive sentence. Why this case wasn't aggregated before and he has to continue going before parole boards, it's unknown to me, but I had advised him that he should have aggregated this a long time ago. And unfortunately, he's still doing this. We would ask that he be rolled over to his next sentence at this time so he can appear before the board in another 6 years to be asked to go before, to be paroled to the community. Thank you.
Thank you, Counselor. Any questions?
I just have a comment. I can see that even though, you won't parole to the streets, but I can see the amount of effort and time you put into the parole hearing, and it's impressive. So thanks.
All right, with that said, sir, is there anything else you'd like to add? Anything we should have talked about? Anything we missed? Anything I should have talked about? Anything that you can help us with to make a decision?
I just want to say that what happened on the day that this happened does not reflect who I am as a person. Sometimes I sit there and wonder how it even happened in the first place. So I can't even express how sorry I am for it. And that's probably just it.
Okay. All right, with that said, this concludes our hearing. What's going to happen now is you're going to hear from us within the next 2 to 3 weeks through your caseworker. It does take 4 out of 7 commissioners to either grant or deny you your parole. Good luck to you, sir.
I should mention that his fiance
Thank
did
you,
want
sir.
to live in Texas.
Okay.
And she couldn't travel for the day.
Thank you all for watching. At this moment, we do not have the results. It takes about 3 weeks for the parole board to come back with the results, and I will keep you all updated. Be sure to subscribe to my channel, like this video, and also turn on your notifications so that you don't miss the next one. Thanks for watching. Also, comment down below. Thank you.